9.
10.
Yizzo!
Oh, hey.
Hey, hey, girl. I'm looking at the volume. Maybe turn it up to 90. Monty, we're trying 90 right now. Everyone, we're trying to figure out how not to go in the red.
I know what you're talking about.
But yes, they do. They know what going in the red is with volume.
Oh, with volume.
Trout.
I'm back.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
It's been a lot of up and downs this past week and a half, but right now I'm on the uptick. Watch out for the down tick, but right now we're riding high. I started off the week in my feelings. My mom was being my mom. I think I talk about my mom's way of being on the podcast. She's a very intense, highly opinionated white woman that just does not mince her words and
Highly opinionated is
not
a very polite way to put it.
not say what she thinks, even if you ask her not to share things with you, she will say it anyway. And Sunday, I stopped by her house. She helped me do laundry, to which I was really grateful. And Jolie had violin practice, and we had just started this back up, and it was a responsibility that I thought was going to be shared between her father and I, but something's come up with his car, so I was just really exhausted from just driving around, doing all the things, feeling really alone in everything. And, child, not me trying to tell my mom this.
Oh, why you ain't called me? I was talking to you when you were on the way. Do you remember? I said, why don't you drop that laundry off? And you were like, oh, I'm taking the time out. Remember I was saying, like, it's like $10 more. Like, you deserve it. Just have somebody do your laundry for you. Take a break.
That is true. That's not a luxury I can afford. Plus, I was going to give it to my mom at that time. And I was she just went in on why I'm alone, the consequences of being alone,
alone in terms of
raising as a single mother, just being alone, and kind of like, this is your bed, lay in it, surrender to it. This is it. And
Jesus,
I really just wanted a hug from her. I just really wanted her to like say, you're doing a really good job, Shanti. It's okay. But she didn't do that, and then proceeded to text me in the evening time, and
more Kevin Samuels videos.
Yeah, just I don't. Did I tell you? I tell everybody, but my mom is a fan. She loves Kevin Samuels.
I don't know if we said that one here.
My mother does, and so she sends me Kevin Samuel clips and explains that basically my sister is going to be a spinster. And I'm just a single mother and, no longer a hot on the market anymore. And nobody wants to take care of anybody else's kids, just work with what you got, but realize you ain't got that much. I don't want anybody to like give my mom bad juju. I'm not giving her bad juju. She's a teacher in my life on many levels, and
she also had a lot of heartache.
Yeah, I already know life. Her. A majority of her stuff is projection.
Yeah.
And so, I was just feeling really sad, really alone, really defeated, and defeated because the work doesn't end. Right? It's like I have all this that I'm managing, and then the next day, it just does not end. But that Monday, we also had. Then that was a Sunday. Monday, I woke up and went to Jolie's parent-teacher conference. And the teacher is obsessed with her and just had nothing but good things to say. And I saw samples of her artwork and of her writing. And, you know, she was talking about high school because she's about to start preparing for high school and how optimistic she was and was like, wherever she goes, she's going to get in. And, you know, she's just brilliant. And just to know that there's somebody else that like adores her and has her back and is watching her unfoldment and is excited about it. And it also was, I was just so proud of JoJo, even though, you know, she's quote unquote been raised in a broken family and yada, yada, all of these things that my mom uses against me. I also see how she's prospering, and it made me feel really proud of myself. And it made me really feel that it's hard work, but it's worth it in a way, that it's not just, there is a something about surrendering to it, or not surrendering, but being present and continuing to be intentional and continuing to like show up. And yeah, so I'm on a high note from that. And that was like a really morale boost for me. And also just getting ready for this live show this weekend with See the Thing Is at the City Winery. Looking forward to that.
In Philly?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Shanti, I don't think did we say that you were joining? Did we like announce that? I can't remember at this point.
We did. I believe so. But either way, I'm going to be there whether y'all want to acknowledge me or not. I'm going to show up.
Cut it out.
And be there. And I'm excited.
Good. I'm probably going to sleep over your house that night, if that's okay. Okay. Girl, I'm sorry. That makes me so sad because I know your mom and I know how tricky it is because she's supportive, but then she also has like so much pain that comes up and she puts that on you. And I'm sorry. Yeah. That's a lot. But you are absolutely doing a great job. It is evident in that child.
She is flourishing for real. Like
she is.
Other people say it is real. If I say it, you know, you're just a crazy mom. But
she a little disrespectful though. I ain't like all that shit she was saying when she was looking at that yearbook. But when she got to me, she was like, "No, it's not." I said, "Little girl, shut up." You saved it though. You were like, "Yeah, it is." Next, you ain't want her to say nothing crazy.
No, she was shocked by the blonde hair and the orange hair.
It wasn't even blonde; it was orange, and I blame Jasmine for that.
What?
She knows why. That was her fault. And did you notice? Somebody wrote and was like, but that cut was everything. Like your hair had so much volume.
Yes.
And I said, that's because it was so brittle.
No.
That it sat up. No, it was the cut, but it also, I'm telling you, I know my hair. It was so brittle and so stripped of any kind of moisture that it sat up differently. The texture was completely different after bleaching it like that. Okay, so it was able to do things that it would just never do now. Child.
But it was the drastic, like the levels between the layers were far more.
I cut that.
More contrasting than what you have at this moment. So it was like,
yeah, what? Because they cut my hair like Frederick Douglass. So we don't need to talk about it. But shout out to JoJo. I'm proud of her. Listen, I feel you. You're on the uptick, and boy, did I hit a valley.
Round and round.
After this weekend, we also had a photo shoot this weekend. Shanti never brings up the fact that she sees me sometimes.
I was going to, and then I didn't because I said that would take up too much time. It was fabulous. And I'm a New Yorker now. I know where we are when we go places. So
yes. But we had another photo shoot. My blood came to me in the middle of the shoot. And I was like, oh, joy. So you can already know how you're feeling, right? You're feeling bloated, feeling this, you're feeling that. I'm already working through shit. But it was after that, and I think I did like a really good job of not letting that bother me. I was just present, like this is what it is. This is what you look like. You got to own it, sis. That's it. And so that's what I did. But the next day, I woke up and I had a ton of stuff to do to get ready. I had to get ready for See the Thing Is, since there's a a certain dress, kind of like they're doing a 2000s theme. So I'm trying to put these outfits together for those 3 shows. I was doing like can't afford therapy outlines and doing research on those topics and making sure the social media clips are ready, et cetera, et cetera. And then around the way curl stuff. And I had to go into the city to meet up with a friend about some work that we're doing. And the friend they are very supportive of me. They're very supportive of the podcast. But I think it was just, I was not in a place to hear what they were saying. And they were basically pushing me to do more, to my work has been a little tricky where unfortunately there's been a lot of layoffs at my job. I kept mine, thank God, but that's been happening. There's a lot of stuff happening at home between my mother and father, their health, their spouse's health, they need help, etc. And then on top of it, I just have a lot of balls in the air it's life, juggling. And so my house was a mess. I hadn't meal prepped. I hadn't cleaned. Laundry needed to happen. My car is a mess. It needs to be washed. Just like so many little things were just piling up. And so they were pushing me they keep saying like, you're doing these things, these partnership things, it's fine. But where is your thing? Like, where is the thing that's standalone? This is your thing. Like, you're playing sidekick. And like, we need, AntoinetteHenry.com. We need something, or you need it rather. And I don't know when you're going to leap. I don't know when you're going to jump, but you need to do it. Like, encouraging me, putting the battery in my back. But the idea of taking on anything else was way too much. And so I had an emotional meltdown where I'm like, what the fuck do you want? I can't do anything else. And I'm crying. And we cleared it up. And, I ended up driving home very late because, when you have this kind of conversation with a friend who you love, you're not going to leave. I'm not going to leave on bad terms. So it took us some time to like work it out. I drive home and it's probably around 1:00 in the morning. This is a Sunday. Cannot find a parking spot to save my life. And mind you, I got to get up. I got to go to work the next day. I have a meeting at 9 where I need to be on camera. And about 45 minutes of driving around looking for a parking spot, I find one. Someone must have pulled out because it wasn't there. And it says I got to move my car by 8 a.m. the next morning. So by this time, it's almost 2. And I just broke down. I mean, I just wept of like, I don't know I can't do anything else. I don't have help. And it feels similar to you of like, I don't have help. Like, I don't have somebody to be like, oh yeah, can you bring me some tea? It's just not, I actually don't have.
It's your turn to move the car?
Yeah, like, hey, can you move the car for me? It can't. So the next day I just sat in the car for an hour and a half, took the call on my phone as best as I could, but it was obvious that like, and then I have this other anxiety around like, I need to really show up at work right now because people are losing their fucking jobs. And so then I'm getting texts about, can't afford therapy and other stuff and it's just like, it's all good stuff, but life is hard enough. And I felt really lonely. I felt like, I don't know. I was just like, yo, like, you have high functioning depression. Like, you are absolutely pumping this shit out, getting shit done. But like, the way in which I broke down, I don't even think because I sent my friend these voice messages to try to further explain why my reaction was so strong. And I can't even hear I listened back and I was like, I can't even hear myself. I can't even really make out what I'm saying because I'm just like dry heaving, sitting in the car over a parking spot. But it's not about the parking spot. It's about the obstacles, right? Mm-hmm. And then I come in and after the call and see the parking ticket that I tried to fight, I didn't win. So there's $100 and some parking ticket that they're telling me I parked in the crosswalk. Everybody parks there, but I guess it was my day to get it. And I wasn't even it's just like, sometimes the shit is just too much. And damn it, if it wouldn't be nice to just have somebody take out the fucking trash or scratch my fucking back or grab a roll of toilet paper.
Or tell you it's going to be okay and give you a hug when you're like freaking out.
Yeah, instead of, I like the support. Sometimes people, they believe in you so much, which is really great, but their support is like, jump, do more. And it's just like, it just got to be too much. And it still feels like, it doesn't feel like too much right now, but just in that moment, it just piled after a weekend of working, like we were nonstop on Saturday and then I was nonstop on Sunday and I'm going back into the work week. And then the tour is this weekend. All good things. I'm not complaining. It just it's
a lot.
Yeah. To manage. So anyway, I'm not I'm not on a low. I'm just,
reckoning.
Yeah.
Reckoning? That's not the right word. I don't think that's the right word.
I went with it. Anyway, shout out to all the people who are doing life. Because life is going to life. It's going to life. And
yeah, shout out to all the people that all of that resonated with, whether even if people that have partners, that have community, it's still a lot. Shout out to all the single mothers that you're constantly told you're not doing enough and you be the person telling yourself you're not doing enough. And all the people just trying to do more and live a life that they love. What the fuck? Why is it so hard?
Capitalism.
Somebody right with this free life. What in the hell? Well, welcome to another episode of Around the Way Curls. We ask as a listener to please rate, subscribe, and share our podcast with your community. We appreciate it. A little goes a long way. And if you wish to see our faces in all of our glory, please consider becoming a patron on our Patreon, which is a subscription platform in which you can pay monthly to see our videos of the podcast, plus some additional content at patreon.com/aroundthewaycurls.
There you go.
Good. Thank you. And with that, we're going to take a break, okay?
All right. You sing your song. I can write it. I'll write everything.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Boop. And we are back. We have our hot shit of the week. Now, this is my hot shit that I have to share is heart-wrenching. It's very difficult to watch, but it's a masterpiece. This weekend on that Sunday, as I was recovering from the photo shoot with Antoinette, I sat down and I was scrolling on Netflix, all my shows I've completed. So I was like, what can I watch? And I stumbled upon All Is Quiet on the Western Front, and I have not been okay since watching this. It's a German film. Have you watched this, Antoinette?
I started it and was like, don't eat this right now.
My God.
Why would you sit down and watch a movie about World War I, right?
Yes. It's a masterpiece from the music.
I think it won
to the acting
for cinematography too.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. It follows a group of boys that join the army, excited and influenced by the German propaganda at that time. They join the army right when they hit that battlefield, child. It gets so real. And the way that they shot it, there's a juxtaposition between the people that are in the war, in the trenches. Like now when niggas say they're in the trenches, I'm like, oh my Lord. But it shows the juxtaposition of the young men, the soldiers on the battlefield, and the generals that are like strategizing and making all the decisions, and just them making one decision and the consequence of that on these soldiers' lives. It's
on the pawns. It's like chess.
It's not even, I guess so. Yeah, the pawns. Yeah, you get rid of all the small men. But 7 million people died. 7 million people. And Germany was invading France. So the characters it's really interesting that they focused on Germany, because they're technically the bad guys in this, because they're going and mining other people. Like, it's similar to like Russia and Ukraine in a way. But the way that they shoot it and the story that they're telling about wars, like there are not necessarily good guys, bad guys, especially in terms of the soldiers that are fighting. It's a masterpiece. It's very difficult to watch. There were scenes where I had to look away, and I definitely sobbed while finishing it. But I was really, really impressed, and y'all should and I don't even like war movies. Forrest Gump had me fucked up, for real.
Do you consider Forrest Gump a war movie?
Forrest Gump and the Platoon. The Platoon had me fucked up. And have you ever seen the Platoon? Where he's running across the field? Oh, it's quite a scene. But I don't think I like war movies anymore. But
speaking of that, did Joe ever watch Glory?
No. I still have to sit her down to watch all the damn shit.
You have to tell her about slavery.
I know.
You also have to tell, like, Middle Passage and times before that. I don't know if you should start with slavery, because sometimes when you start with slavery, kids think that that's like the beginning of African American history.
But she has a very proud African father, so I don't think she's in any way.
I forgot Jolie is real African.
Very proud to not be American, and
well, she's still American.
Well,
sorry, Joe.
She is East African girl, and the propaganda he gives to her.
I can't hear you whispering,
so I apologize. And then I had a couple more. A little bit more
what
time.
Did you say? I can't hear you.
It wasn't worth it. It was snide, and I apologize.
I just see your lips going, and I just hear. I'm like, yo, this mic doesn't pick up the sound. How many times I got to tell you?
After I watched All Is Quiet on the Western Front, while I was lying in my tears, I was like, I need some more. I have a little bit more time. So I watched The Strays, and I
you followed up with that?
Upset. I was so confused as to why you suggested that movie. What?
I didn't suggest it because I loved it. I suggested it because I had thoughts. Oh, that's funny now.
It's from the UK.
We have to talk about it for real on this podcast.
This is directed
I don't want to talk about it right here.
Girl.
Don't talk about it now. We got to save that. We have to go through
Save that for what?
I don't know. Maybe a Thursday episode to go through that. Or do you want to go through it? Wow, you're just not interested.
I'm just so curious as to what you have to say about. I really want to know what you have to say about this.
I did not like it. I didn't like it. I thought that they needed to think through that a little more. I actually did like the ending. I love that surprise ending that she just dipped. I was like, well, that's her. That's true to her character. What I didn't like was how of course it touched on colorism. I didn't love how the dark-skinned characters were portrayed as violent, as aggressive, as just angry. I was like, what? So it felt like the movie was trying to say, hey, these stereotypes are really fucked up and they're really damaging and they really damage these kids. But then it also upheld them in a weird way. For
those of you who don't know, the storyline is that...
Wait, should we give people the storyline?
They need to know some context. It's about a biracial woman who escapes her past, if you will.
I said that. Okay, yeah. I said that.
And I feel like what they were saying, the biracials are actually the real devils. That they are the real devils of this whole mixing of the races. They are the ones that are problematic and getting away with murder. And
the premise could have been like, I think the premise was there. It was really interesting, but I don't know. I don't know either. The payoff. There wasn't the payoff. There wasn't like the get out moment of like, wow, I gotta sit and think about this. I gotta like,
I hated it.
Piece is gonna be written.
There's a scene with running water that I literally had to turn it off because it was getting on my nerves so much.
But why? Why were they doing? Well, I did read something on the running water where that they were running that. If people who've seen it, apparently the running water was to show like that she was drowning, that everything was to help that. Like you feel the kids wanted to destroy what she had and wanted to basically, you know, bring up all of this stuff. And something like water is the symbol of purity. It can, you know, it can cleanse you, but as you're cleansed, right? As all of her lies, right? All of this stuff was coming off of her where she was more exposed. She then can like suffocate and it can be damaging, and she left and
hated
escaped. It. I know.
Hated it. This feels like a 11th, 12th grade Kappa project. Like a student wrote this. Anyway.
You hated it. You hated it the entire time, or you hated it up until that point? There was a turning point. At first, I wasn't terribly angry with it. And then there was a turning point when I think the young people got violent. When they showed up at her, right after they showed up at her function, and they were like, you know, they said the word of like the title of who she was. I didn't mind it up until then. And then all the unfolding after that, I was like, this is awful.
What is this?
Yeah.
The girl was acting. I think they were strong actors. But
they were.
Just didn't have the writing or the plot or anything to carry them very well.
Yeah.
But I feel like the biracial devils is...
Tricky. So, everyone, go watch The Strays.
Don't do it.
You should still watch it. There's some people who loved it. What is it? Really? That Refinery 29? Oh God, they were raving.
Oh, they were paid for that.
We have to talk about it. No, it didn't say ad, and technically it's supposed to say ad. We have to talk about The Strays, and we have to talk about colorism. Ciao. Well, I apologize for making you watch that, but I needed to know what your thoughts were. I thought that I was tripping. I was like, this is not good
at all. At all.
You didn't like it at all.
No.
It was interesting.
No, I did not like it at all. And then her wig,
that wig. You notice how every time she felt discomfort, she was like scratching it. Yeah. It was interesting.
And
I'd like to hear them break it down more.
I guess, white people are oblivious, innocent.
That's the point, yeah.
Just, although they're the source of all of the, I don't know, maybe it's so on the nose. Yeah, that weird,
and it was like, wait, there's no subtlety here. It's like you're telling me instead of me discovering it and feeling it. I don't know. Whatever. Shout out to The Strays. Y'all tried. But that made me really appreciate Jordan Peele's Get Out more.
So good.
So good.
Did you watch Nope?
I didn't yet. That's another one I need to watch.
Girl, what do you do? You don't.
I don't have time. I don't know when you think that I have time to sit down and watch these things, but I do not.
You need to see that, and it won't be as good because it's not in theaters. But
again, didn't hear nothing you just said.
I said it. Oh gosh, I said it wouldn't be. Having not seen it in the theaters takes away from the spectacle of it all.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sad about that you haven't seen it in theaters. It's very good. I think it was. Not so good. Very bad. Trump. He was supposed to be arrested yesterday. He wasn't. Have you seen these AI images of?
Yeah, and they're dangerous because people are putting that out as though it's really him and trying to sound the alarm to like, start another January. What is it? 6th?
We have to have a conversation about this AI. I've talked about it a couple times. It's really serious, but that's an aside. But anyway, Trump was supposed to be arrested on Tuesday. He is maybe indicted for a crime. The crime being in 2016, he paid off the adult film star Stormy Daniels. She had an affair with him during and was going to come out about their adulterous affair during the elections. And his team got wind of this, and his lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid Stormy $130,000 to keep quiet. That was not the illegal act. The act is that Trump reimbursed Cohen. Thank you. I'm going to cash app you $130,000 back, but falsified the business records saying that it was a legal fee, which is a criminal offense in New York.
He also, they think, used tax. He used the money from his campaign, from the donations,
to pay for the 130.
Yeah,
of course.
That's the big thing.
Oh,
the big
Trump.
kicker there.
Trump.
Yeah.
So the man that could possibly indict him is the Manhattan DA. It's Alvin Bragg. It's a Democrat and a black man, which it's like, okay. He is making all of the decisions around this, really. So it's up to him on when it will be announced. As of now, we don't know what's going on. Do you think he's going to get arrested? I do not think that he will be arrested. He will be the first president convicted of.
I don't think it's smart to arrest him on this. Just because I don't think it's a winning case. That their main their whole case relies on Michael Cohen's testimony, and he's a proven liar. He's lied so many times. So, I mean, it's not a slam dunk case, and it's kind of you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Like, if you don't arrest him, then there's no penalty for the shit that he does. If you do arrest him and he wins the case, though, which he most likely will, he's just gonna flip that into, well, I told you this was a witch hunt, and just because you beat a case doesn't mean you're not guilty. It means there wasn't enough evidence, for you to be convicted. So far he hasn't been arrested or indicted. I don't know, but I think the more important and interesting case, not more important, but the case that might get us somewhere in terms of Trump having to answer for some of his crimes is happening still at Mar-a-Lago with these documents, these classified documents. More information is coming out about that, where they can actually prove that Trump and his attorneys lied when they said that they turned everything over and they didn't. So more stuff is unfolding. I think people are tired of the whole Trump thing, but I think the problem is that he is running. So he's going to say that everything's political, and that's the only reason why they are pursuing this. And I don't disagree that it is political. It's also, you wrote the law on several occasions, sir. But I think that folks are trying to do whatever they can to ensure that he is not in office again, that he can never be in office again. And yeah,
it seems that his base, or things that I've heard, people are like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. If you arrest him for this, imagine what they're going to do to the poor people." So, like, it's an attack on people's rights in a way. Like, oh, he's getting, jailed for this ridiculous thing, and he's a powerful, rich man. They're just infringing on our rights more and more. Imagine what they're going to do.
But how is that an infringement
I don't know,
on rights?
They're all up in arms about it being their human rights and their, rights.
Human rights to steal
free rights, or getting
campaign finance dollars and pay off a porn star and lie about it. What? Y'all, get it together. Now, a better argument is this is ridiculous because, Bill Clinton actually did lie under oath and he didn't go to jail. He got off. How'd that work? So, I mean, the double standards exist, but the Trump is just, God, I won't say brilliant, but the way that he can create his own narrative, his
marketing genius.
Man. Wild times. In other news, I put that in the wrong spot. I was wondering where I put that. Interesting. In other news, China and Russia, are getting closer. They already are close, but this is something to watch, kiddos. The Chinese president is currently visiting Russia, which is pretty huge given the fact that an arrest warrant has been issued for Putin by the International Criminal Court for war crimes against Ukraine. The charges are focused on Putin and Russia, their invasion of Ukraine, and the kidnapping of, they're saying, thousands of children that have been transported to Russia. And they are basically being put into these behavioral kind of classes and systems to erase their Ukrainian identity and re-educating them to identify as Russian rather. This announcement is big. Most likely no one will arrest Putin. One, the International Criminal Court, they don't even have like a unit. They don't have a actual law enforcement unit. But the main idea around this is that it's supposed to make Putin more weak in terms of his global standing. So that's why him meeting with the Chinese president, and the Chinese president kind of showing his support of Putin, and the fact that he is incredibly powerful. Those two countries do not fuck with the good old US of A by any means. And so, they've stated they have like minds, they have similar agendas in terms of getting rid of this kind of Western influence world. And so even with these war crimes, even with the invasion of Ukraine, he still has the support of China. And right now, China is not giving him weapons. But if they do, the concern is that we're all in another world war sooner or later. And right now, everybody's fighting in this war by proxy. So it's scary. Vladimir, I don't know how to say his name, Zolov, Solovyov. It's a prominent Russian state TV host. And last Sunday, he announced on Russian television that any attempt made to detain Putin will result in an immediate nuclear strike. So, something to watch. I've been down in the dumps and a little bit depressed. So, I ain't go all the way in on this, but it's quite scary. In addition, I saw today that North Korea has also announced that their missiles are locked and loaded and pointed at the U.S. And I don't know what we did to keep. I don't think anything happened, but I, again, didn't research it. But they didn't say that they're ready. They didn't say they're going to strike. They just wanted us, as an FYI, to know that they could and would.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So listen. Right now, the Chinese president is acting like he's over there trying to bring peace, trying to come up with ways in which, Ukraine and Russia can come to terms and end this war. He has not met with President Zelensky of Ukraine, so that kind of feels like, well, how are you trying to create peace, but you're only meeting with one side? Most likely, he's going to say that he is in support of a ceasefire, and a ceasefire complicates things because it does not ask for Russia to leave the territories that they are occupying. It's just you stop where you are. So like Mariupol, like all of these places that they're already occupying in Ukraine would still remain in Russia's control, which most likely...
Yeah, Russia's not going to turn back.
But I'm saying that's Ukraine's not going to go for that. So you're not really trying to come up with peace, with a peace treaty. The other interesting thing about all this is that part of the reason why you wanted the International Criminal Court wanted to come out and say like, hey, this arrest warrant has been issued for Putin. It limits his ability to travel. Like, I'm sure he'll still do it. He actually just went to Ukraine, or he claims he did. He claims he went to Mariupol, but people are saying that could have been, it was dark. He could have been anywhere, could have been propaganda. But you try to weaken his global standing because he's running out of fucking money and resources. And
unless
so
he has China to be like, I got you, say less.
Exactly. So that's why there's already a lot of tension as well with the US and China, with TikTok, Biden,
Taiwan.
Taiwan's always the issue. For people that don't know, Taiwan, Jesus, we're really going in. But Taiwan is a result of when the Chinese government changed and became communist. Folks fled over to that island and created their own kind of state, democracy, and then it turned into its own country. We back Taiwan, we being the US. China wants Taiwan back under their fold, and that's the cause of a lot of tension there between the US and China. But also, like, the US is sending Ukraine military weapons. Mm-hmm. If China starts to send Russia military weapons, we all just fighting, y'all. We all in a war.
Yes. We fighting.
This is crazy. Yeah. This is scary. And now you've got TikTok where Trump and Biden, believe it or not, they agree on one thing where they want the Chinese to sell TikTok to an American company, or they want to ban TikTok in the US because TikTok, it came to be that, and even the Chinese government admitted this, that they claim that there were some bad players that were using the IP addresses of certain American journalists and getting their home addresses and this and that. And so
America's like, we can only do that with Facebook and Google. You can't do that over here with your stuff. We can only do that.
But, right. Claim they don't do it, right? But right, China is an enemy of that. Listen, we are not friendly with China. No. So for China to have this app that's collecting all of this information on American citizens, that's why TikTok is banned on government official, technology and phones and stuff. It's tricky. And if China loses TikTok, that's a huge, do you know how much money TikTok makes? They ain't going for that. And they're also like, who the fuck do you think you are that you're telling us we have to sell our company to an American company?
Rightfully so.
And what American company wants to take that on?
Ban it.
Meta's already dealing with their own shit.
Ban it then. America's like, we don't care either.
It's a mess. It's just a big old mess.
Well, the plot thickens. Apparently, niggas aren't having babies. The world's population is decreasing, which
that's a good thing.
No, not when it comes to economics, because apparently the way we're all...
Climate change, it's a good thing.
Excuse me?
For climate change, it's a good thing.
I don't know.
It is.
What's ending up happening is that you don't have a workforce to support the growing population or the aged population. So you have a lot more elders and not a workforce to come and replace them or to care for them. In South Korea, they have the lowest infancy rate in the world. The fertility rate is 0.78 when it should be around 2.1. So they're having less than one fucking child. There's a lot of reasons around this. Most people, if you ask the young folks, they are saying because the cost of living is too damn high.
Hello.
South Korea has some of the best childcare policies in the world. They offer stipends of $765 a month, extended maternal and paternal care, but it's still, people ain't busting nuts in each other because of it. It's not enough money. It's not sustainable. And they're not having babies. Someone, a gentleman by the name of Stone, who studies...
Who is Stone?
And this is from NPR. He did a study of members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So it's a study of 38 countries, America, Paris, South Korea, a whole group of people. You can see who's all on the list. And he said one of the contributing factors to the fertility rates is that he correlated countries' identity or the way they identify themselves with work and the amount of kids that they have. So folks that find more personal value in their work and work very hard, they're having less kids. South Korea has the longest work week of the 38 countries mentioned in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So this leads me to France, which is up in arms and wilding out in this moment. France, everybody's protesting. I guess he's a president. I don't know what you call the head of the state there, but I think France's president, Emmanuel Macron, he's used his power to push past parliament. Apparently they were supposed to vote for this, but he was like, I have the power to veto and push this law ahead, whether you guys like it or not. And he chose to do that. And he increased the retirement year from 62 to 64. And people have been losing their shit. There has been no trash pickup for weeks on end. It's piling up, trash everywhere, stinks. People are setting shit on fire. They've been protesting for a little over a week. I think this happened last week that he passed this law. And their connection to it is they're saying it's going against their cultural values. The French don't, although they, take pride in their work, they also take a lot of pride in having leisure and rest. And the way their system is set up is that, I guess at the age of 62, they have like a socialist kind of pension that kicks in, and the taxes help give all of the citizens a stipend so they can just live lovely. And the president was like, yeah, that sounds good. But he did his little projections, and similar to South Korea, similar to a lot of the countries, and I believe America has similar stats as well, that by the year 2035, people 65 and older will outnumber those under the age of 18 for the first time in U.S. history. And so this is happening all over the world. And then it just fucks with economics because you just don't have a workforce to sustain the care for those that cannot work anymore.
I reject that.
You reject what?
I reject that. I mean, I know that's the conclusions that they draw, that like, oh, that's why it's because we don't have a workforce. There's plenty of money to help sustain.
Exactly.
If you, that's what it's like.
Exactly.
No, it's capitalism.
It's
you have plenty of money. If you don't have people hoarding all of the resources,
talk about it.
Then you can.
That
help
is why
the folks that are 65 and up, people are living longer, which is a beautiful thing. Did you listen to The Daily? Did you listen to this episode of The Daily at all?
I think it was The Daily.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Daily, but no, the one that I listened to, they immediately just said, we tried to tax the rich, but it didn't work. And then they went on to they never talked about why that didn't work. And
I think something that was really beautiful about The Daily's podcast on these, because he hadn't, when this came out on The Daily, he hadn't vetoed it. He was still trying to push it through. They were still just protesting the thought of it. Is that apparently the word work in France is not like, we are like good work. Work is like, we have positive connotations around work, and they don't. Work is not a pleasant thing, and they don't hide that in their culture. It's like, you can't wait to be done with work so that then you can live. Like, they have some sort of French saying where when work is over, life begins. And so these people, like, I know some people are probably listening to this thinking, oh, 62 to 64, give me a fucking break. Like, so many people in the US are going to need to work way past 65, most likely us, because we don't have pensions and they're trying to take away Social Security and Medicare, they being the Republicans. But I mean, I hear people talk about this, and I hear people talk about Medicare. I hear people talk about this whole concept, and it's always that they don't have a workforce to sustain. There's just too many older people. No, there's too many rich people hoarding the resources. So I don't want to hear that. I hate that whenever we have these conversations, not us, but like the powers that be have these conversations, that's never even brought up. It's like, what? And you really, like, I'm so sorry. Did I talk about one here? Crying at night from that 80-year-old man being a janitor at that school?
Yes,
that's sick. That's
really
sick.
Crazy. It makes no sense.
And the people that came together to finally retire him are people that are going to need the help later on. It's not the folks that have it.
But it's not the conversations that they want to have. Even when they're, again, it was the same one that we listened to, the same one on the daily. Okay. They just skimmed past them taxing the rich. It just didn't work. It's like, what? Yeah. You have to make it work. These things, it has to happen, because otherwise you're, again, making people work longer and harder and sacrificing people's quality of life.
Yeah, I mean, they only want to talk about socialism when it's time for bailouts. That's when socialism works, to keep their capitalist economy running.
But even France is a socialist. The way this works, they have like, it's a mix of capitalism and socialism. They have like a certain type of capitalism that, you know, also has socialist values in it. And it's still not, they're still trying to squeeze more from the people. And a lot of folks are saying that they're living, you know, paycheck to paycheck, that the opportunities aren't the same that they used to be. People aren't getting pensions or jobs that have pensions anymore. So,
girl, South Korea, people were in an uproar.
I'm talking
there.
About.
I know. South Korea just tried to extend the work week to 69 hours.
Girl, they have the longest work week in the whole entire
world. And they tried to extend it to 69 hours mandatory in order for you to get paid. I wouldn't have no fucking kids either.
They're stressed, but they don't want to talk about that. They want to give, you know, little stipends here or anyway, it's hard out here for a pimp and a human that's trying to reproduce and keep the human race alive.
I will say less people in the world does help with climate change. It might not help with
it doesn't help if the
labor
people that
force.
Are remaining don't have a quality of life. If your quality of life is here just
oh no, they're two separate things. Yeah, I'm just saying for climate change, at least there's less people using up energy. There's less energy being used to build more housing. I mean, I can't walk around Brooklyn without seeing more and more skyscrapers going up with more and more apartments and the water being used. What is the water? What's the lake we talked about? It's drying up, child. And they still building houses.
Shout out to y'all. I hope you guys are okay.
I don't know if they are. But we talked about it one week and we off to the next thing. This is a positive episode.
No, this is really real. I think this stuff is really important the more aware that we become, because it doesn't add up. You know, the stuff doesn't add up, and people have to really pinpoint, well, what? Something doesn't make sense. There's this, I was going to talk about it next week. I'll send you the link. It's a really amazing book, and it's an NPR segment promoting the book, but it's called Poverty in America. And he's an economist. Economist? I made that word up. Anybody? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Economist is a word.
Economist. Yeah. And he was talking about how if just in America, if the rich paid the taxes that they are avoiding, They could raise people that are under poverty above the poverty line. If the rich just paid what they were supposed to pay,
this is what I'm talking about. This is what Elizabeth Warren, this is what Bernie Sanders, this is literally what they say, and nobody wants to hear it. And I don't, this is what doesn't add up to me. It's like, you hear them say this. They campaign on this.
They have the most they're the most popular in their polling around these type of, basic around healthcare, education, Medicare. Everybody agrees.
Do you mean Democrats?
No, across both of them, Republicans and Democrats. They both believe people should have the right to healthcare, these basic principles, and education.
They do not believe in their policies and in their policies to get there. They do not. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie, I almost said Bernie Mac.
Yo.
And Bernie Sanders do not get love in these red states. They don't. People vote.
Thought that their policies, their actual
not at all
foundational values poll the highest.
That's what blows my mind is that folks vote against their interests all the time, because at the end of the day, they would rather vote about abortion rights and trans bathrooms. And now Ron DeSantis has a fucking bill in Florida where he's trying to get rid of fucking fraternities and sororities.
Black fraternities, yeah.
That promote DE&I initiatives and programs. That's the shit. That's the kitchen table talk in their homes. Not the fact, we're poor as fuck. They were like, oh, we're poor because coal is gone.
We're poor because of immigrants.
We're poor because of immigrants. Right.
A lot of mercy. Anyway, it's important. It's important. On to pop culture, which is
another downer.
Rest in peace to Lance Reddick, the God. I know him, and this is the only role that I know him for in The Wire, the greatest masterpiece series ever created, available on HBO. He was he was sergeant, lieutenant, I don't know.
He climbed up the ranks.
Was the character that he played. He played Philip Broyles in Fringe, Chief Irving, what a name they chose, in Bosch. And in film, he was best known for starring as Sharon. Y'all know today. In the John
I was going to let you cook. Go ahead, girl.
David Gentry and Angel Has Fallen. This man was 60 years old, minding his business, looking like black don't crack.
He was fine. I don't care what nobody says.
And just died. And of natural causes? What?
Yeah, that feels weird.
Make it make sense. He left behind a wife and 2 kids. I didn't even know he had 2 kids.
And all those dogs, because he was a very serious dog lover.
Apparently Keanu Reeves loved him and they had a connection.
Yeah.
But R.I.P., that don't make no sense to me.
He has 7 upcoming roles that have not been released yet. One of which he's playing Zeus, which I'm very excited to
60,
see.
Just living his life, working.
Yeah.
Gone.
That gutted me. That made me really. I remember I gasped when I saw that online. Like, it just. I don't know. I don't understand why these. I don't want to get into it, but there's something going on where these men are
in the water.
These young people are dying.
For nothing. Out of nowhere.
Strange.
Boom.
I can't believe I'm looking at this and you don't have nothing on here about this SWV and escape beef.
What? Please tell me. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you haven't watched this?
Mm-mm.
I haven't really. I've been trying to stay away from Instagram, so I was hoping that you had more scoop than me. But apparently, y'all, they gonna tear me up because I don't know everything. I think they're on tour together, But basically, there's some kind of beef. There's some kind of reality show. Something happened where Candy from Escape, who's also one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, who's also, got her own empire she's got her hands are in a ton of different projects. She went on to explain why SWV should open for Escape and will open for Escape. And the Escape demands more money. And everybody was like, what? And she was like, listen, y'all could be mad, but then she got into some kind of beef with Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tamar came out was like, you can't even sing. How you gonna have all this ego? You can't sing. And now Twitter went crazy pulling up all of these videos of Candy trying to do these runs and stuff. But I was shocked to find out the SWV is indeed opening for Escape. Does that make sense to you?
I feel like they both should have an opener.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like there should be an opener and they are the acts.
Yeah, but who would go first? It's like the First Ladies tour that was like
Escape should.
Yeah. Like the First Ladies tour was Missy, Alicia, then Beyonce. I'm aging myself. But like that made sense. I would leave after. I would wait a little bit, hear their opener, and then I probably want to get ahead of traffic.
Before it gets crazy in the parking lot.
Yeah. Like, what? I don't know. SWB's handling it really well, but
because they grown. Candy and Tamar and all them, I don't know.
Tamar is not a part of Escape.
Tamar, child.
Tamar. She's a Tamar.
I don't know nothing about them because I always think it's connected to their show.
Sing. That's the one thing. You can't say nothing about that lady because she can sing.
I can't say nothing about none of them because I don't know the backstory. I don't know the context. I don't know the past transgressions. But they have legacy. They have stories.
Sisters
they have
with
history.
Voices.
All I know that SW will sing Escape into the ground.
Who did Escape do a verses with?
Was it SWV?
I think so, and I think that's how the tour came to be. Escape. Anyway, if more people have information, I want to know because I'm confused. Anyway, go ahead. I hate this.
That's awkward. That just ruins the juju of the whole tour.
It was SWV and Escape.
That's
but I don't know if it does.
Marketing and PR, and they should.
I think it might be marketing. I think it might. Candy is brilliant about that.
If I were to go to the show, I would. It messes up the energy of the show. You go there as a spectator, and there's all this like tension and weird.
It messes up the energy of the show for people like you and me. A lot of people do like that kind of beef, and they want to go now to be like, who's gonna outsing?
Where did you say?
Energetically, I'm feeling things. They gonna be like, "Girl, shut up." Hopefully, they fight.
No,
sorry,
that's terrible.
It is.
Somebody's trying to uplift herself. Apparently, yes. Black Chyna has removed her facial fillers. She's embarking on a new journey,
and her butt, and her implants. All the things are going, sweetie. You ain't been following Black Chyna now. Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, y'all heard her here first when she was doing that revolutionary stuff. What was she doing before? What was she doing?
I don't remember.
Black Chyna.
Listening to you and being like, that's who you caping for?
She's a revolutionary.
I felt terrible for her. And her mom hopped on social media to just tear her down. This is the episode of Mothers.
Joe.
She got on there and was like, y'all falling for it. She don't, and just tore her up.
Not your own mother. She's nasty. She is a nasty woman.
Yeah.
She is really disgusting.
That's mean. She also got rid of her OnlyFans. And she said that she was making $280 million.
She'll probably be a daughter of Oshun now. I'm telling you, she's going to come out in her white. Somehow she's going to befriend Erykah Badu or, what's the lady? Queen Afua. I'm telling you, that's the cycle that these girls do. Listen,
she gonna start drinking her rainwater.
I love Erykah Badu, but that's the cycle. They go through that program, her 10-step program. They put on all white. Somehow they get involved with African spirituality and somehow connect to Oshun. I think Beyonce probably did it too on the low. She did it too. Yamaya, but it's Oshun. Oshun is the one everybody wants.
That's only because they know that from Beyonce. Oh, you can't say that.
Erykah Badu's gonna be a doula.
Erykah Badu, it says she looking for her king. Where he at?
Listen, we ain't talk about this. We did talk about that.
We talked about the breakup.
Yeah, she's single now, child.
Where did that man with them locks go? Child.
Where did he go? What did he do?
Where is he at?
She rolled over like she do all the time. Was like, get out. That's what she probably. She probably roll over, look over them, and be like, the energy's wrong. You got to go. Get out.
I don't think this is serving me anymore. I don't want to be in this relationship. No, he might have hurt her feelings. It'd be the young, skinny, locked ones.
They be fucking it.
Because I never heard her say, I want to be, I want my king. Where is he at? She usually just be over there chilling. And now she like, where is he? She tweeted that. She tweeted that, girl. She put that one of Twitter's on Elon Musk's Twitter.
That's what I said. You got to check on the strong spiritual types because they be the messiest. They be the ones that be...
Because it's so intense. Everything's heightened.
She a Pisces too? Stop playing. Erykah over there, I love her to death, but we got to stop thinking that she got it all together because she over there hurting right now.
Erykah has it together. She curse you out. I do not co-sign that.
No.
Speaking of somebody that curse you out, go ahead on to the next thing.
Don't call me white girl. I'm so proud and happy.
She's on the tour.
I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
She's opening for Jill Scott. She opened to represent for Philly. She was up there. Listen, that woman is working. And I say it again. I wish her nothing but blessings and the biggest glow up. If she want to get face fillers and all that shit, I'm capable for her. I really was really excited for her. And I'm excited that she was on Jilly from Philly, which I heard was a very good tour. So shout out to them. And then last but not least, now this was something that I saw and I was like, I didn't think anything of it. Law Roach, who I didn't have any reference point for aside from admiring his work, unbeknownst to me that it was actually his work. Law Roach, a stylist, Hollywood, A-list stylist, has made a claim that he is leaving fashion. And after this year's Oscars, he gracefully bowed out. He had an interview with The Cut, and for whatever reason, I read this interview, and I feel like his story and his contribution to the fashion world and the decision that he's making is commendable. And I just want to uplift him, and I hope he finds what he's looking for. So his career started, he had a rough upbringing. He was born in Chicago. He had an addictive mother who basically left him and his siblings in a house and was like, figure it out. I think he was about 13 years old.
Was she biracial? You'll get it if you watch The Strays. You'll get it if you watch The Strays. She must have been biracial.
She might have been biracial.
Tricky. Go ahead.
We abandon the blacks when it's convenient, when it gets too hard for us? Is that what he was trying to say?
Whoa.
It's easy for us to abandon our black identity when it gets too hard? Peace? I don't want to be associated
I think that's exactly what he was saying. What else did you get from that? Wait. Can we go back to The Strays?
I was trying to figure out what the biracial messaging was, aside from her just being a devil. I was
besides like the colorism. Yeah, well, she abandoned her whole black. It got hard,
and when it's easy,
so she could have escaped that relationship that she was running from, and just escaped and went on about her life as a black woman. Instead, she was like, "I'm going to create a whole white family,
all right,
with ease and comfort." Enjoy.
Figured out the most obvious thing.
That's why I'm like, wait, what? What did you watch? I hate it. Boo.
I didn't understand a goddamn thing. Anyway, back to Law Roach.
Sorry.
Abandoned by his mother, started working in thrift stores, discovered he had a knack for finding vintage pieces, opened up a vintage boutique, which got a lot of attention, and then found his way on a trajectory to be a stylist. His golden ticket, or they were each other's golden ticket, was Zendaya. He became her stylist when she was 14 years old and has been styling her all the way up to now. So all of her, Zendaya be killing it, okay? She be looking fabulous. And that's because of Law Roach. He then found clients with Celine Dion, Anne Hathaway, Priyanka Chopra. I think he just recently styled Meg Stallion for the Oscars.
He did, the after party.
And then just after all of this, he's like, I have to leave. And what he revealed was that in his, workaholism, of course, is connected to his, I can't go back to where I came from, so I have to work extra hard. Lots of trauma connected to it in a super, super hard industry, which he made this beautiful statement around how important Black stars were to Black stylists. And whenever Black stars would go and look for or get their services from another white stylist, it felt like a complete door closed for really talented Black stylists, because their hope and their trajectory up is through each other. And that's, I think, working with Zendaya, and I think it's a testament to Zendaya. I forgot the sweet baby's name, but your friend's a stylist. She's really growing by working with A-list Black musicians. And I just saw that relationship and how important that was to me. I don't think anything of it, but he really revealed how dependent they are in a lot of ways, and how, of course, abusive the industry is, how there's so much politics. And I was most proud for him. Recently, he did some creative direction for Dior, and he was talking about how he worked really hard, how he's constantly, these stylists are being called to drop everything, go here, do this. The amount of actual physical labor that's demanded of them is great. And anyway, he did this collaboration with Dior, put in a lot of work, and they did not give him any credit. Didn't mention him once. And he spoke out against them and was like, yo, and this is a major house. Like, I guess in this fashion world, that's like, you do not do that. That's no,
because they won't let risky. You borrow from them.
Yeah, you're blacklisted. And maybe that's what he's doing, is preemptively like speaking out and leaving while he's on top, because he's scared of that happening. I don't know what his choice is aside from his mental health. Hopefully it's just his mental health.
He said he's still going to work with Zendaya.
Okay.
He did say that, because he was like, y'all think that I would leave Z? We're forever. Apparently she called him right after this came out, and she said to him, it just came out today, where she said, bro, I thought, or sis, not bro, sis, I thought we had things to do. What's going on? Do you need a vacation? I'll send you on vacation. And everybody was like, this is the type of fucking friend you need, that when you're struggling, they say, do you need me to send you on a vacation? What you need? But they seem to have like a real friendship. I know that some people are starting to get a little annoyed with, I don't know how they identify. So LaRoche, because, or is it LaRoche? Don't know if it's LaRoche. You keep saying that. I'm like, I feel like I'm not sure though, but I just,
because that ain't right.
I don't.
Enough
all right, wait. Watch this. You said it so sweetly, but you can really be right. I don't know, but this is why, like, we have to put this shit into YouTube and hear somebody else say it.
I didn't think anything of it, girl.
Monty, we're calling on you. Insert yourself if you know, Monty. This right here. Is it LaRoche?
But you gonna say LaRoche?
I was like, what an unfortunate...
you gotta put some respect on it. It's LaRoche.
LaRoche. I'm choosing to say it like that. If it's LaRoche, cool. Even better. Like, wow, the duality.
LaRoche.
That's what's LaRoche. I just feel like we're not saying that with whatever thing they might put it on it. But yeah, it's a little zhush, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, apparently folks are getting annoyed because they keep tweeting saying like, I just wish I would have never worked with that one company. And people are like, girl, just go to Oprah and have your interview and shut up, please. Like, either retire or don't retire, because they feel like they're stretching it out. But
again,
people are mean.
To shut up. Again, knowing what this person endured, and I think because it's fashion, we automatically think frivolous. We automatically assume catty.
There's so much work in that.
It's so much work. And for him to be a Black queer man, to get A-list stars, to have access to these houses, and to have the self-respect. To have this, also have the self-respect to be like, you cannot treat me like this.
Yeah.
Do not treat me like this. You shouldn't be treating anybody like this. I was really impressed, and I think he deserves... I don't know. He deserves rest. He deserves recognition, and he deserves some protection. I think. I read it, and I saw some things where I'm like, it sounds like you have a reputation, and maybe it's for a reason. But also,
what do you mean by that?
You have to read the interview, but he was just talking about how catty it was, and people say not to work with him, and put words in his mouth, and all of these. I don't know. It sounds like a lot of he say, she say kind of dynamics going on. But again, the amount of pressure, talent, and physical labor that requires is...
And vision.
And vision.
You're a true creative. Like,
girl.
Some of these people are setting trends that will exist for years to come. Girl. Like, they are influencing every little bit of things that we do. And, yeah.
Again, don't dismiss him. That's all I wanted to. Because normally I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know what you're talking about. But then I was like, oh, let me read this.
I sent this to you?
No, I was through my own interest and inspiration.
Oh, well, you said what'd you just say? Can I hear you?
And with that, you've listened to another episode of Around the Way Curls. We appreciate you so very much for showing up each week. But let's talk our shit, and we will see you next week.
Do you know what we need next week? You know what I need?
What?
Guess.
A vacation?
Guess what I would need. What?
A vacation?
No, that too, but and around the way.
Curls affirmation?
Yeah.
Listen.
Next week, not right now, but.
I ain't prayed enough. I ain't prayed enough.
Are you supposed to be getting more connected to God? How you doing with the phone? You been staying off the phone? Off the internets? Off the Instagrams?
Not as much as I wanted to because my app don't work. That app don't keep me off the phone.
The app that you told everybody to download?
Broke. All right, let me keep going then. I didn't try to see what was wrong with it. I didn't try to reinstall it. I said, this thing broke. Let me check my Instagram to see what could possibly be wrong.
No. All right, well.
I know.
I'm wishing you luck because I be seeing.
I've been doing better than what I have been. I've been doing better.
Okay. Because I'm still not reading DMs. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm still not opening them because I just go through the rabbit hole. Because you send me the most fire fucking memes and videos.
That's fucking...
And once you do it...
Why would you not go to the end of that when he screams? You didn't put the whole clip on there where he goes...
I cut it off too early?
Yeah. He goes...
the little boy talking about politics?
And the little kid goes, ah!
Like, where did you find that? How do you find it?
My sister sent it to me. All right, y'all. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you should follow us on Instagram at Around the Way Curls.
Good plug, girlfriend.
So you two could be distracted from the doom, God. Gloom, and...
No. What did you say? You said it was distracting you from the voice of God. I said, damn. You went in that week. I said, all right.
For real. Not that. It's me knowing that I need to get off of it and I ignore it. So if I know I need to be doing shit and I ignore it, then
because the voice is telling you to get off. It's God.
God's like,
you right.
Get the fuck off that phone.
How God say it?
Hey, get the fuck off that phone. Get the fuck off that Instagrams. God is a nigga. So get the fuck off that phone.
I wish that could be the name of the episode. God is a nigga. That's algorithm will be all fucked up.
Put that fucking food out your mouth, you greedy ass. You know you ain't supposed to be eating. What the fuck you doing? What's with that nigga?
Could you imagine? What if that was how God? What if that's a fucking skit? You pray and then God answers you like that? Oh, dumbass!
Like 15 times.
Every time I send you to the clinic, it's me talking, bitch. Listen. All right, we've derailed. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Please look up how to say this man's name. I want to know so bad. La Roche. Is that it? Why is that his name?
I didn't think anything of it until you said it. Until you tried to make it fancy. I said, what? Not La Roche.
Well, it might not be that. I think you might be right, but also his mom, what the fuck? And if his mom didn't name him that, then most likely he chose that. So why? All right, let me hear it. I got it. I gotta pay for YouTube. I'm not.
With Apple Music seamlessly integrated.
The YouTube where you don't have
EQS SUV for Mercedes-Benz.
I'm scared. Are you scared?
Oh, I've been with her for 11 years now.
So how did she react to this news?
It was tough for her.
La Roche is opening up about
That's it. You said it right. La Roche. It should definitely be La Roche. I said I didn't know.
That's what I said.
But you said it right. Unless the white people saying it wrong. I don't know. I don't know if I would have hired him based off of that Roach. I just, I have a thing. It makes me weak even looking at it spelled out. It makes me weak. Like I can feel myself getting upset.
All right, girl. What's the name of that thing? What's the name of that? Bonobos? Bonobo? Bonobobo? What's the name of that man's polyamory club? Bonobo.
Bononones.
Okay.
Wow, what you about to say?
I'm going to mention it, but...
Tiffany Haddish saying she broke.
I would imagine she is.
She in the Girlfriends movie again. She's starting to be at parties and stuff again.
She might not be getting no jobs.
She's in Girlfriends. Not Girlfriends. What was the name of that movie? Girls Trip. Oof. It can just all be taken away so quickly.
Are you ready?
Not really, no. I'm trying to get the voicemails together. Hold on. Because they're not in any particular order. Just give me anxiety. 3 people called while we were... Somebody called about your medicine cabinet. I can only just see some of the transcription.
Oh, that was such a good one.
Something about JoJo, especially with JoJo like calling. What? Hey, Shanti and Antoinette, it's just me, Joy. This. What? I don't know. All right, let me find the ones that I have here. And set it up to the speaker because the speaker acts up. Bononones. And Joelle will be next week. And then people are tweeting wanting Black to come back on.
Oh.
So I asked him, and he said no, but he'll do it. He was like, no. I'm busy. You ain't fucking busy. All right, wait. One girl does have 2 voicemails. Can we make an exception?
Sure.
All right. I think you should say we're making an exception. It was, I don't know. I think it was a very heartfelt message, and there was a reason why. I can't remember. I listened to him so long ago. All right, there's that one. And then 18. Okay, I'm ready. Okay.